So this little guy right here is the XOàI 25-liter Adventure Backpack. And as the name would suggest, it is a pack designed around adventure, but it also tries to tiptoe the line between light travel and everyday carry. This brand is also operating under a transparent pricing model, so I know for a fact that this bag only costs $32 to manufacture, but it'll retail for $129. So in today's video, of course, we're gonna do a full walkthrough. I'm gonna give you my thoughts, opinions, and experience in using this pack. And we're also gonna touch up on that transparent pricing model and why that might matter to you. Now, as always, there's chapter markers if you need to skip ahead, but let's unpack everything about the XOàI Adventure Pack. So I came across XOàI Packs as an ad for their Kickstarter campaign. That has been fully funded and completed. These packs are readily available for purchase on their website. I've actually had this one for a few months myself. Now, what really caught my eye about the company is their transparent pricing model. So I know for a fact that this bag costs $32.30 to manufacture. It costs $87.91 for marketing, admin fees, duties, freight, and warranty coverage. And the brand is only taking $8.79 to reinvest in the business and as their profit. So why does that matter for you? It matters because this brand is trying to prove that it is possible to build high quality gear out of great materials for an affordable price for not only you, but a price that makes sense for the brand to stay profitable, and also a price that makes sense for the manufacturing facility to offer fair labor, safe working conditions for those employees who are manufacturing these bags as well. In addition to all that, all these materials are made out of different recycled components of recycled plastic, recycled eco-pack material, so it's trying to be environmentally friendly as well. So adventure's in the name, and this bag was designed for that motorcycle trip, those skiing trips, and I think aesthetically it takes on that vibe very much so. The front bungee cord definitely gives it that outdoor look, but the overall shape of the pack, it has like a teardrop taper to the bottom, so the pack won't stand on its own, but it takes on that very outdoorsy day pack vibe, something that you would easily see on the hiking trails and on the slopes. And there's pops of color throughout the bag, like right here, the logo right on the front, and of course all of the yellow sprinkled in the nylon of the zipper pullers here, and also the yellow carry grab handle. So it's definitely a vibe. So because of the yellow accents, the bungee cord, and the overall aesthetic of this bag, this is the first area where it starts to falter for me as far as for everyday carry and travel. It's a little bit too busy than what I like to travel with, definitely, but also for the office. It definitely looks like it belongs more on the trail than it does in an office setting. Now, obviously, it's going to depend on your profession. If you're a surfing instructor, this will look perfectly at home at your desk. Now, some of the external features of this bag, it does have dual water bottle pockets on each side, as well as a set of compression straps to help you cinch the bag down. You have this front bungee system here, as well as a roll of MOLLE to help you clip additional gear to the outside of the bag. Now, all of these are features I really like to see on day packs like this. This front bungee cord gives you some flexibility to carry an extra layer, a towel if you're going for a swim at the beach, pair of sandals, anything really. And then this extra roll of MOLLE at the top to clip additional gear to. Again, if you're taking a dog for a hike, you can clip their poopy bags, their dog bowl, water bowls, all sorts of things. So I love the external clipping ability, and of course the external carry options here. And the dual water bottle pockets on each side are also reinforced down at the bottom here. So if you're carrying pokey like trail hiking sticks or tripods, you won't rip through the mesh of the water bottle pocket. Now, even though we have a lot going on externally, the overall layout of this bag is actually pretty simple. We have a top admin pocket here that has a great amount of dedicated volume. You can actually fit an entire pair of AirPod Maxes, you know, these bulky headphones that don't fold, will fit down into that admin compartment. The pocket goes all the way down to about right here, so you can easily fit those headphones in that pocket. Now, as far as organization in this pocket, you're going to have two simple stretch drop-ins here, as well as a back zipper pocket with a key leash on the inside there. Now, something I'm not super excited about is it's all black on black interior. You have black mesh with this black liner here. It doesn't feel too premium, to be honest with you, but I mean, for a liner, it's pretty suitable. It's probably some sort of recycled polyester, pretty standard on something you would see on a pack in this price range. Now, at the top of this bag, we have a top quick access pocket. It is one of the better ones that I've ever had the pleasure of using. It is big, wide, and deep. It is felt line or microfiber line there to protect your sunglasses but this giant pocket was actually designed to fit an entire pair of like ski goggles. So you know how big those are. So those would easily fit in there. But as far as traveling or everyday carry use, I found this to be one of my favorite pockets of the bag, fitting all sorts of gears, your passport, phone, wallet, keys. I mean, anything really you want to stuff in there. So this bag is full clamshell, but in order to get into that clamshell, you will have to undo the side compression buckles as they run over the main track. But I found that with this pack, the dual zipper heads at the top, it actually stops right there on the compression buckle, and you can operate this bag in a half zip mode. And when you're on day hiking, taking this bag out, adventures or whatever, you're usually putting this bag down in front of you and then opening it up this way anyway. You're not laying the bag down fully to get full clamshell most of the time when you're using this pack in that manner. Now, of course, for traveling, that's an advantage to have it fully open and you can fully pack it out. But I find myself 99% of the time, I operated this in a half zip mode. So normally I'm against compression straps because I hate the way they look, but functionally here in a day pack and an adventure pack, I think they're worth it. I think they're worth having because you can cinch this bag down to whatever size load you're carrying, but also use them to clip on water bottles and secure like things like a tripod. Now, when you do undo the buckles, like I said, you can still get that full 180-degree clamshell opening on the inside. Now, I did confirm by this label right here that this is a 100 recycled polyester lining. That's what it felt like. I just noticed the tag now. It actually includes that. And as you can see, we're looking at an all black interior. Again, not my favorite, especially when using the bag in half zip mode and having to dig around and try to find your stuff at the bottom. So with all the fun colors of like yellow and orange on the front, I would have liked to have seen something like that implemented on the inside here, just to help you find different things of gear, especially since there is no organization on the inside of this pack. So you are going to have to pack modularly or just throw things loose into this pack. So a high-vis interior would have been a great option here. Now, despite seeing all of these flaps, this is all the internal volume of the front pocket. So everything is going to take up that main compartment volume. You do have two pockets here on the inside of the pack for a laptop and a tablet. They are suspended like a good 2.5 to 3 inches right off the bottom, so you don't have to worry on that end as far as damaging your electronics when putting this bag down. But they are not super padded. I think they're padded enough. Now, this bag is advertised to hold up to a 16-inch laptop computer, but I was actually able to fit a 17-inch 3D printed gaming computer, which I'll demonstrate for you at the pack out section of this video. And there's nothing else going on the interior of this pack. Now, moving over to the harness and back panel, it's actually quite to see such a straight strap. Typically with day packs and hiking bags, you will see an S-curve strap or even a J-shaped strap. Now, they do have a slight bend into them for ergonomics, but it's not as drastic as you would see on other brands. Like we saw up at the top, you have a simple nylon yellow webbing here for a top carry grab handle, and then you have two external lash points here on the straps, great for clipping your sunglasses or other items there. So there is an adjustable sternum strap here to help you distribute the weight of this pack, and it does include a safety whistle right on the top of the buckle. Now, looking at the back panel and the underside of the straps, they are using an EVA foam, so it is high quality, but it's quite stiff. It does break in a little bit over time, but EVA foam is not going to lose its shape. So it is a little bit coarse. Now, this is an abrasion resistant air mesh on the back. So like I said, it is a little coarse, but I actually found that to be a feature as it helps this pack grip your shoulders and kind of just stay in place, especially when you're walking over uneven terrain or taking high steps onto stones or rocks and jumping over things or whatever. So the pack tended to stay in place very well. On the back panel, it is EVA foam all the way down. You can see the perforations in there to help with a little bit of air breathability. Now, I did take this pack out on a hike on a very, very humid day, and I was actually quite surprised on how well the back panel and shoulder straps performed. Obviously, every backpack is going to make you sweat. This one was no exception, but I've definitely used hot bags. I'm a GoRuck guy. Those bags have zero breathability, and I could feel the heat on my back wearing a GoRuck bag. Here, I was actually surprised with the amount of humidity, almost to the point where you can take a bite out of it. This pack did extremely well when it comes to air breathability. Now, at the bottom of the pack, I would say is a controversial feature here. It is a non-removable hip belt, and it does have two stretch pockets on each side of the hip belt, but I don't use hip belts. I don't think this pack is big enough to warrant a hip belt. So I just stuffed the extra nylon webbing buckles into there to kind of keep the amount of dangle down and just looking overall busy as these just hang from the side of your pack. So I'm not quite sure on what the decision was to make this hip belt integrated and non-removable. I like to wear my packs high and tight, and I found that this pack's belt landed right at my belly button line, so it really wasn't going to do a job of distributing the weight from the pack to my hips like it's designed to do, and not being able to take it off was quite the bummer. Like I said, I tucked in the excess nylon buckles and webbing into the pockets themselves, so deeming really this whole hip belt thing here just additional weight and not usable for me at all. Now, when it comes to the overall comfort of this bag, I was actually quite surprised. On the several hikes that I took it on, I felt that it carried everything in my pack extremely well. I tend to wear my bags high and tight, and I think they carried well. The taper of the straps here down at the bottom to this very thin part here ensured that when the pack came over my shoulder, the thinner parts are right here in the armpit area, so it didn't cause any abrasion or any just an uncomfortable feeling of a thicker strap right in my armpit area. So a pack that is designed to be worn for extended periods of times, I think that's a great feature. And like I mentioned about the air breathability, super hot and humid in Texas, especially right now with the spring rains, I think overall the harness system was extremely comfortable and ran pretty cool compared to some other bags that I've used in the past. Okay, so let's talk about some of the materials on the Adventure Pack. The front of the bag here is a 400D TPU coated ripstop material. Now that TPU coating is going to give you a little bit of extra weather resistance, and of course being ripstop, that's going to help you with the overall abrasion resistance on the front of the pack. Now the sides of the pack is actually lined with an EcoPack material. EcoPack's one of my favorite materials. Now while they don't list the exact variant of EcoPack material, overall EcoPack is waterproof itself. Now this bag is going to be fairly weather resistant, but there are no PU coated zippers. They are nice regular zippers, which I like. It makes their operation extremely smooth. And when it comes down to the zippers, of course, they're using YKK, which is of course regarded to be some of the best zippers in the zipper world. And of course, all of the plastic hardware on this bag is made from recycled plastics, and it's by Duraflex, which again is the YKK of plastic hardware. So the overall quality for this bag, I would say, is pretty good. I think it's in line for a bag in this price point. I did find some things about this bag, nothing integral where this bag's gonna fall apart, but there were several loose threads throughout the bag, and I can show you here, like on the side of the pack here. See if I can get that on camera, just a giant loose thread hanging out there. And then we also have another one on this side of the pack as well, just more loose threads there. And there were just loose threads throughout the different places of this bag. Again, nothing integral to the construction of this pack. It's just little small things in the finish that felt like they could have been done a little bit better. So currently right now at the time of filming, the bag is only available in this colorway right here of this black and white ripstop and black bag. But if you follow XOàI Packs on their Instagram, they have been teasing some really cool colorways. I saw an awesome yellow bag, so maybe give them a follow and keep an eye on that if you're looking for something a little bit more spicy, a little bit more vibrant. Now this is a pretty lightweight pack here at under 2 pounds for a 25-liter bag. Now that 25-liter could be subjective because all of this front pocketing does eat into the main compartment. So sometimes if you fully pack this bag out, it could feel a little bit tighter than 25 liters. But overall, coming in at just under 2 pounds for this size of pack, I think is great. Okay, for some pros and cons and some things that I really enjoyed about this pack. Number one for me is going to be the top quick access pocket. Now it is specifically designed to carry goggles for like skiing, and because of that, it is so big, so roomy. It is nicely felt line or microfiber line there to protect your sunglasses. Such a great pocket, and I found that when you're taking this out on hikes and trails, quicker things access at the top because you naturally take your pack off and set it down so you can take a break. This pocket is just so awesome. It's been able to hold so much gear, very functional. My favorite pocket on this bag. Number two for me is going to be the bungee system and row of MOLLE on the front to be able to attach different gear and carry all sorts of things. I think for a pack designed for adventure, having these things on the outside to carry bulkier things like if you're snorkeling fins and masks, swimsuits, beach towels, all sorts of things, having this external carry here makes this bag a lot more functional than just 25 liters. And sometimes you're carrying abnormal gear, like I said, snorkeling fins or whatever, if you're taking your dog for a hike and clipping dog bowls and dog poopy bags. It's a versatility that I like to see in day packs, and I'm glad they're included on this bag here. And lastly for me is going to be the execution of the harness system. I did find this pack to be pretty comfortable. I like the breathability of the back panel. The shoulder straps were a good blend of thickness and width, so very good execution despite the hip belt not being removable. Which is going to lead me right into the first con of this bag, the non-removable hip belt. For me, I wore my pack high and tight. The hip belt actually landed right across the belly button area, and hip belts are designed to displace the weight of the pack towards your hip so you can help carry that heavier load. Now, being 5'10" with a 21-inch torso, the bag just doesn't sit right for me to warrant the hip belt. I don't think the bag is big enough to warrant the hip belt, and I would have liked the choice to be able to remove it for not only weight savings, but also just not having all of the dangle hanging on the side of the pack. So the second con for me is going to be the all black on black interior. The organization of this bag is pretty minimal, so you're gonna have to pack modularly or just throw your things in here very loosely, especially into the main compartment. And having a black on black interior just makes it harder for you to find your gear, especially when you have the side compression straps. Like I said, 99% of the time I use this bag in a half zip orientation. So just stopping right there at the buckle and opening the bag at half zip and having to dig and look for different things in my bag. A nice bright orange or yellow interior, a high vis interior would help with finding your gear. It would also spice up the bag a little bit. I have no issues with the polyester recycled liner. Like I said, it doesn't feel the most premium, but it is what it is, and I think it's fine, especially for a pack like this. But a different color would have been a nice touch. So the last con for me is going to be this slight taper of the bottom of the bag. While I liked it aesthetically, what it means for this bag is that more times than not, when you put it down, it is going to face plant forward. So it will have to be leaned on something. Now, I'm fully aware that in this adventure pack, hiking pack, day pack space, it is a very popular shape to have. So a lot of bags have the same issue. It's just something I had to get used to, and something that became a little bit frustrating every now and then. When you put this pack down, you turn around and you see it face down in the dirt. So for some final thoughts on the XOàI 25-liter adventure backpack, I do feel that it does a little bit better in those adventures and on the trail than it does for travel and EDC. Now, they do sell a packing cube and a rain fly that you can add on for $25 to help you in that travel and EDC scenario. But I think the minimal organization, especially on the inside of the pack, might be an issue for some. Now, the 180-degree opening of the clamshell does make it easy for packing, but it not being able to stand up on its own, like if you're at an airport and waiting on your plane, you're always gonna have to lean this bag on something. And of course, there's the aesthetic vibe of it, right? So it may not be suitable, or you may not feel comfortable carrying it into the office or being so loud visibly when you're traveling. Now, I do think there are some opportunities and changes that could be made to help this bag in that EDC and travel categories, like maybe adding a luggage pass-through or a slide hidden pocket here on the side for to add your passport or wallet, things like that will help it make it a little bit more travel and everyday carry friendly. But like always, I want to know what you think of this XOàI 25-liter adventure backpack. What do you think about this bag's overall vibe? But give me your honest thoughts and opinions on the transparent pricing model. Is that something that's important to you? And what do you think about that transparent pricing, knowing that this bag costs $32 to manufacture, and then all the other costs associated with marketing, fees, and tariffs and duties and all that sorts of things? I would love to really know your thoughts on the transparent pricing model. Does it matter to you or does it not? Now, if you have any more questions about this adventure pack, definitely put them down in the comments below. The goal of this channel is to always help you find the right gear for you. So if you want to know how something fits, definitely ask it and I'll do my best to get you that answer. So let's pack this bag out so you can get an idea of what fits in here. So this bag is advertised to hold up to a 16-inch computer, but I have my 3D printed Dell XP. It is a chunky boy laptop, 17-inch, and it fits into this pocket here quite easily, to be honest with you. It is still suspended off the bottom. You have plenty of clearance for the zippers to close. Now up front, you have another padded iPad sleeve, tablet sleeve, or document sleeve because it's actually quite wide. I have a 3D printed iPad Pro 13-inch, no case, no keyboard, but plenty of room still left on each side, so it will definitely hold your larger documents as well. Now, I actually didn't use this backpack to carry devices. I used it more for outdoor hiking and, like I said, outdoor activities, so I actually didn't carry any laptops. Now, something that I actually carried in this pack is my small camera cube. This is the one from Grams 28. I love the size of this cube. Now, in this cube, since I'm an aspiring content creator, I have things like my DJI Pocket 3, some additional batteries, accessories. I have my DJI Flip drone, and then of course the controller that goes with it down in here. And it's all nicely protected in this well-padded camera cube. And it fits down on the inside of this pack very easily. Now, because there's no additional pockets on the inside of this bag, like I mentioned earlier, I typically operated this from a half zip orientation, and that's just easier the way it packed. I'm not putting packing cubes or things in there where you would have to lay it completely flat open. But from this half zip orientation, I can fit all sorts of different gear in here. Now with that camera cube in there, setting my base, some additional gear that I like to bring on day hikes, and especially long day hikes, is like a first aid kit. I learned a long time ago, we were somewhere in central Mexico, my wife missed a step and split her knee open. And while we were able to flush it with water, we had no way to bandage it. So I bring just a pre-made first aid kit with me now on our hikes, especially if we're gonna be out for several hours out and several hours back. It's a good idea to have a dedicated first aid kit. And some other things I just toss in my pack are like a rain poncho here. This is actually a bigger one that will actually cover the pack and myself in case it starts to rain, to protect my camera equipment. And then this is my Dmade pouch with just snacks, Cliff Bars, liquid IV, any kind of snacks you want to bring on a trail, especially for a pack with minimal organization. A snack pouch is definitely recommended. And I usually pack snacks for like 3 or 4 people, even though it's usually only 2. Never hurts to have extra snacks. Now in this front admin pocket here, the organization again is very simple with just these 2 stretch drop-ins and a zippered pocket, but you do have a good amount of volume down here at the bottom. Now in these 2 stretch pockets, I really just carry my Wuben X4 Flashlight. I always have a flashlight on me, and I think it's important to bring one, especially when you're hiking, and of course a pocket knife, more for utility than it is for self-protection, but these are 2 items that I always have on me. Now, one thing I always bring with me, whether I'm going out on a long hike or when I'm traveling, is a large capacity power bank. This is the P63 from Iniu. This is a 25,000 watt milliamp power bank battery, so it has enough capacity to charge your cell phone at least 4 to 5 times. And I'm talking your bigger cell phones. But this one here is a fast charging 100 watt output power bank. So you can actually power up your biggest MacBooks and recharge your MacBooks. You have 2 USB-C ports here as well as a USB-A. And of course, on all Iniu products, whenever you see a lanyard, you know that this is an included USB-C to C cable to help charge that laptop, to help charge your cell phones many times. A great thing to have on a long day hike, on a long day of traveling. It does have features like the digital output display there, so you can see how much power is left in your power bank there. So a great little power bank. So right now through July 1st, if you purchase the P63 from Iniu, they're actually going to toss in a free high-speed charging cable. This one has the capability of up to 100 watts fast charging. It's 6 foot USB-C to USB-C, so you're going to get that free with your purchase. And on top of all that, there's going to be a 15% discount when you're buying these 2 items. So there'll be a link in the description if you want to check that out. But a high capacity power bank is something I take, especially if I'm going to be gone all day hiking or out on the trail where I'm going to need to charge up camera batteries, cell phone batteries, and that fits perfect into that slip pocket there. On that back zippered pocket, you do have your key leash there, a great place to keep your keys, and as well as toss in any passports, wallets, or anything that's very secure, because it is a zippered pocket within a zippered pocket, so a nice secure place to keep things like those wallets and keys secure. Now, because you do have some good amount of depth into this pocket, that's where I normally kept my sunscreen and bug spray when you're out on the trail. No problem in getting that sunscreen and bug spray in that front admin compartment. Now at the top of the pack, again, one of my favorite pockets is this quick access pocket. You can really dump anything you want into here, but a pair of regular, sunglasses swallowed up in that pocket, as well as your cell phone. Really anything you want to put in there, honestly, it fits in there. Such a great pocket. Now with this pack fully packed out, we still have those stretchy pockets on the side, and they were specifically designed to fit a 1 liter Nalgene, and I happen to have one here. And again, fully packed out with all of that stuff. The 1 liter Nalgene is a little snug because it tends to push into the pack, but you'll still be able to get that 1 liter in there, relatively easy. And of course, with the functionality of 2 water bottle pockets, a little mobile portable tripod is something I carry as again, trying to be an inspiring content creator. That fits there, and then the compression straps will help secure that tripod or water bottle from falling out. You can just cinch it down there. Hey, really quick, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more like it, please consider hitting like and subscribe, as that directly supports me and the channel. I want to say thank you to XOàI Packs for sending out the 25 liter adventure backpack for me to test and review. Now, if this backpack wasn't quite your vibe or what you were looking for, I have an entire playlist dedicated to everyday carry bags, as well as different travel bags that may be better suited for you. But anyway, thank you for supporting today's video, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.